testing.
Everybody. We're going to start out tonight with L'Ador Vador. Normally I sing this song at a bar bat mitzvah, and it's particularly relevant because we talk about from generation to generation. And when I was putting the service together, I ran past this song and I thought, it's also really relevant tonight. So we're going to do it together. If you know it, sing it along. We are gifts and we are blessings. We are history in song. We are hope and we are healing. We are learning to be strong. We are words and we are stories. We are pictures of the past. We are carriers of wisdom, not the first and not the last. L'Ador Vador nagid God lecha. L'Ador Vador, we protect this chain from generation to generation. L'Ador Vador, these lips will praise your name. Looking back on the journey that we carry in our hearts, from the shadow of the mountain to the waters that would part, we are blessed and we are holy. We are children of your way, and the words that bring us meaning, we will have the chance to say. L'Ador Vador nagid God lecha. L'Ador Vador, we protect this chain from generation to generation. L'Ador Vador, these lips will praise your name.
Everyone. That song always gets me right here. If you're able to make it till 10:30 tonight, the class that I'll be doing, The Secret of Jewish Survival, is going to touch on how we've been so successful in being able to pass this on, L'Ador Vador, from generation to generation, and how each one of us in our lives can be that link to the chain in our families and our communities and all of that. So Chag Sameach is the greeting that we give during the 3 pilgrimage festivals, which Shavuot is one of them. Anybody else be able to tell me what the other 2 are? Sukkot, ding, ding, ding. Shavuot and, Wendy? Pesach, Passover. Nice. Nice. And really, Shavuot from the Torah is really has nothing to do with Torah as it appears in the 5 books. It's really a harvest festival. It's a wheat harvest festival, agricultural. And what people would do on Shavuot, as they did on all of the other pilgrimage festivals, or shalosh regalim, regalim means legs, like pilgrimage, shalosh meaning 3, is people would come from all over the land of Israel, with their first fruits, with what they've grown, their animals, their produce, and they would come to Jerusalem, and it was like a huge music festival. I mean, think about like a Grateful Dead show, or where there are vendors and people are selling this, and it's outdoor, and people are camping. That's what they would do. They would come and camp, and it would be, the holiday would be a celebratory holiday, and they would make the sacrifices that people would bring in the temple in Jerusalem, the loaves of challah and other things, and it was this incredibly open, amazing space. And then when the temple was destroyed in 70 CE, the rabbis had to figure out, how do we continue to make this relevant and keep this going? And so what they decided was they connected the whole holiday of Shavuot to the story in the Torah, right? The Israelites left Egypt on Passover. They left slavery on Passover, and then wandered in the desert 49 days, which we know as the counting of the Omer period, and then came to Mount Sinai on Shavuot, on that day. And so Shavuot, instead of just becoming a harvest festival and a pilgrimage outdoor music festival, then became about celebrating the revelation and the giving of the Torah. And that moment, to try to imagine what does it mean in that moment for the Israelites to stand at the foot of the mountain of Mount Sinai and experience God's presence in this way that was unforgettable, that forged them as a nation and as a people. We know from the text that there was thunder and lightning, and there was a great voice, a great shofar sound, a great voice that went out that never stopped. That's what the text says. It says, it went out, B'kol gadol velo pasak. A great voice went out and never stopped. And people saw sounds. They heard colors. They had a completely out-of-body experience. And the rabbis have all kinds of things to say about it. They say that the experience was so amazing that their souls left their bodies because it was so, to experience the limitlessness, the infiniteness of God, of the Creator, they couldn't, so it left. Another midrash or commentary that the rabbis say is everybody heard the voice in their own unique and particular way. So even though we know the Torah as a fixed book that's behind those doors right there in the back there, and we might know it as letters on 2 tablets of the 10 Commandments, the fact that everybody heard it in their own voice, in their own way, says that there was something even deeper and more expansive and more unique to each person than just some words that somebody dictated out there. And it's almost as if when it says that was a voice that went forth that never stopped, that voice is still going out, the voice of Torah. And we know something about this, even in our physical world. Like, remember radio? Remember radio? Like, and it still exists. There are radio waves. We can't see them, but information is in our midst everywhere. And if we had a transistor, we would turn it. You know, now it's the World Wide Web, right? We have a browser that suddenly connects to all this information. But if we could tune it, then we could hear that voice, whether it's talk radio or classical music or any of those things. But in this case, we can hear that voice of Torah, which is the voice of our own calling, our own purpose, our own depth, what we're meant to do, what we're meant to be in this life. And so every time when we come around this story that we have, which I hope is clear that from the rabbinic perspective, it's not something that just happened historically in time, that we are now, remembering or commemorating. But instead, it's a story or a myth that is trying to describe something deeper about this moment here and what's possible. So we come together to receive Torah. And that's what we're going to open up with the lighting of candles. So,
Sarah, you want to come?
pleasure to invite up Sarah Shakovsky with Kim to lead us in candles. Want to invite everybody to stand. And on a festival, it's the same blessing as we do on Shabbat, except we say L'chadlik ner, lighting the candle of Yom Tov, of the good day or of the holiday, and we follow it with a blessing, the Shechianu, giving thanks for this moment.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Yom Tov. Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehecheyanu v'kiyamanu v'higiyanu lazman hazeh.
You may be seated. I believe the Baruch Hu is in our Siddur, our prayer book, the thin blue book on page 23. Oh, and I psyched you out. I said, please be seated, but you really need to stay standing because unlike Shabbat, where we have this whole Kabbalat Shabbat service, we go right into the main body of the evening service.
And also, can we explain a little bit about the difference in the Nusach?
Sure. Of the holiday Nusach?
Yes.
So you might hear some different pieces of melody than you're used to on Shabbat. And of course, our tradition is very attuned to sacred time and the varieties of sacred time. So there are different melody on holidays versus Shabbat versus weekdays to kind of tune us into that sacred time. So we know, oh, it's one of the pilgrimage festivals or it's the high holy days.
Baruchu et Adonai hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai hamevorach leolam vaed.
Baruch Adonai hamvorach leolam vaed.
Now you may be seated. Page 26.
God of creation. And this is the regular tune, so everybody can sing. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim b'chokhmah poteach she'arim. God of creation, who makes the evening fall from light into darkness with the setting of the sun. You unfold the heavens with brilliant moon and stars and wrap our souls with peace. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim b'chokhmah poteach she'arim. Baruch atah Adonai Ha'ma'ariv aravim.
We're on page 27. But before we enter into this prayer, Ahavat Olam, which precedes the Shema, it's worth reflecting on what we're being asked to focus on during the Shema. Back in the story of the Garden of Eden, you may recall that there were two trees in the garden. There was the tree of life, which Adam and Eve ate from. And in that garden, the thought is when they ate from the tree of life, they felt connected and a part of creation. There was not a sense of separation. They were one with everything. And then they ate from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, the one that they weren't supposed to eat from. And all of a sudden, they saw things separate. They felt separate. They felt separate from creation. And this story is a way of talking about our natural human consciousness. Most of the time, we feel separate from life, like we are acting on it and moving in it. And sometimes we have those moments, in intimate moments with another person, in nature, where we feel at one. And every time we come into the Shema, we're being asked to reflect on that reality that we are a part of. And the blessing that we do before the Shema is always a blessing that has to do with love. Whether it's in the evening or the morning, it's about love. And part of that is because love is what opens our hearts and dissolves those boundaries of separation between us and others and us and creation. In fact, even the gematria, every Hebrew letter has a numerical value, Aleph 1, Bet 2. The gematria of the word echad, which means one, is 13. And can you guess how much the value of the Hebrew letters of the word ahava, love, add up to? 13. Ahava and echad and one are one of the same. So as we open to this sense of being loved in this eternal way in the prayer on 27, we can let that move us into the Shema, where every exhale of the words of the Shema is a deeper opening to that sense of being a part of.
Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha Avta, Torah Mitzvot, Chukim u'Mishpatim, Otanu lemadeta, Al Kein Adonai Eloheinu, B'shofeinu u'v'kumeinu, Nasiach b'chukecha, ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד. כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו ואורך ימינו, ובהם נגע יומם ולילה, יומם ולילה. ועבדך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. We are on page 31 for V'ahavta. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Adonai Elohechem Emet. Go ahead and turn to page 37 for Mi Chamocha.
Yai lai lai la lai la 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 lai lai, yai lai lai la lai la 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 lai, yai lai lai la lai la 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 lai lai, yai la lai lai ya la 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 lai. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha ne'etar b'kodesh, nora tehilot osef eleh, nora tehilot osef eleh. מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקי הים לפני משה, זה עלינו ואמרו, זה עלינו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד.
Baruch atah Adonai Ga'al Yisrael. 39.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom. V'hamidenu shomrenu l'chaim. Ufros aleinu sukat shalomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shalomecha. Shelter us beneath your wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us, God, wrong from right. Amen. 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 Ushmor tzeitenu uvoenu l'chaim ulshalom me'ata v'ad olam ufros aleinu sukat shalomecha baruch atah Adonai haporei sukat shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'al Yerushalayim.
going to transition to a different part of the service. Because this is a festival and not Shabbat, I want to invite you to turn to page 212. But before we do the Amidah together, in a moment we're going to stand, and Kim is going to chant a line that is just for festivals. It's not in this prayer book. It's kind of in place of Vishamru. When Vishamru is for Shabbat, this line is for the festivals. It's not as extensive as Vishamru. But then she'll do that and a Chatzi Kaddish, which actually is not in the evening services in the prayer book, but she'll go ahead and do that, and a lot of you know what to do during that. And if you don't, you can just follow along, and then we'll do the Amidah together on page 212. So I want to invite everybody to stand.
וידבר משה את מותי אדוני אל בני ישראל. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה.
Amen.
וילמד יברך ירותי וימליך מלכותי בחייכון ובימיכון ובחיי תכל בית ישראל בעגלה ובזמן קריב ויאמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעולמי עולמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומן
V'yinaseh. Let her get her key.
Shemei Kudesha Richu Leila Min Kol Berchata V'Shirata Tushbechata V'Nechemata Da'amiran Mi'alama V'imaru Amen.
Amen. 212.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel v'Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'Konei HaKol V'Zocher Chasdei Avot V'Imahot U'Mevi Geula Livnei V'Neihem Leman Shemo Bi'ahava Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avraham Ve'ezrat Sarah Atah Gibor Leolam Adonai Mechayei HaKol Atah Rav Lehoshia Mechayel Chayim Bechesed Mechayei HaKol Berachamim Rabim Somech Noflim Verofei Cholim Umatir Asurim Umekayem Emunato Lishenei Afar Michamocha Baal Gevurot Umido Melach Melech Memit Umechaye Umatzmiach Yeshua V'ne'eman atah lehachayot hakol Baruch atah Adonai Mechayei hakol Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh U'kdoshim b'chol yom Yahalelucha selah Baruch atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh.
Please turn to page 220 and continue silently. You can choose the insertions for Shavuot. The traditional prayer is on the right side of the page, and poetic offerings are on the left side. And then we'll gather together at the last page of the Amidah, which is Shalom Rav, peace. page 230.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Bechol beinecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael. Bechol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. One last time. Tasim Leolam.
We can feel how just Tuesday night here, this service has transformed the space into the sacred holiday space, and we want to be able to welcome in people in our lives who are in need of healing, physical healing from mental illness or addiction, anybody that we're thinking about into our prayer space. So just want to give everybody the opportunity to say out loud, whether you're tuning in with us live stream or here in the sanctuary, just say the names out loud of people that you want to bring into our healing prayer, which is going to be on page 63 in the middle of it. But please say the names.
Marilee Brown, Michelle Rosenthal Parsons.
Middle of the page.
Mi sheberach avoteinu mekor habracha leimoteinu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mi sheberach imoteinu mekor habracha liavoteinu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
Please stand for Aleinu on page 64.
Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon hakol, latet gedula leotzer breshit, shelo asanu kigoye ha'adatzot, velo samanu kemishpechot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam, va'anachnu korim, ומי משתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך לכל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
You may be seated. Mourner's Kaddish is on page 73. And we're not going to read names like we do on Shabbat, but if there's somebody that you have in mind as you're saying Kaddish, please stand and say the name. Thank you. Thank you. Sarah. Ellie. Thank you. Phyllis. Sydney. Thank you. Okay. According to your custom, you can sit or stand for Mourner's Kaddish, page 73. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shmei Rabbah v'alma divra cherutei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael ba'agala uv'izman kari v'imru amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam u'omei omaya yitparach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh V'yitadar, v'yit'aleh, v'yit'halal, shmei dekudisha brichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tush bechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru amen. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be for blessing. You may be seated. Chag Sameach, happy Shavuot. So we have, this is just the beginning of the evening. For some of you it's the end, but for some of you it's the beginning. There are, besides this service that marks the sacred time, there are two main ways we celebrate Shavuot. One is by eating dairy products, which some of you have already fulfilled that mitzvah with ice cream, but there is so much more of that to come, blintzes and cheesecakes and cheese platters and everything you can imagine that's going to be in the chapel following the service. And that's, dairy, the richness of dairy, the nourishing of dairy from even a baby on through is because it symbolizes Torah. Torah is what really nourishes us in that deep way. And then the second thing is to study, is to learn Torah and to try to hear through the teachings and the texts what that calling is, what's our own voice of hearing at Sinai. So we're going to be learning all night, starting at 8:30, and if you want to even just try a little bit, you can grab a plate of something and head down in the chapel. And then if you don't want to stay up all night, but want to hear the 10 Commandments read in the morning, the morning service is at 7:30 a.m. Not so bad for a weekday, 7:30 a.m. And Yizkor, we'll be doing Yizkor tomorrow at 9 a.m. So it will be part of that morning service, but if you just want to get there for Yizkor, you can also do that at 9. On Friday, also Thursday is the second day of Shavuot. Those who want to join us at CBI, Congregation B'nai Israel, some of us will be going there.
On Friday, June 14th, we have a special oneg, lovingly sponsored by B.J. Russell, in memory of her daughter, Blakely. If you or someone you know lost a child or grandchild or a loved one who's younger, please bring a memento and light a candle in their memory. June 21st is our Pride Shabbat, featuring our special speaker, Rabbi Carrie Chaplin. And our 11th annual Child Spree is coming. On July 28th, our congregants will take 65 foster children on a TBE-sponsored shopping trip to buy them back-to-school clothes. Please help make that happen and register to be a shopping buddy or a volunteer at that event. Details, registration on the website. And our annual congregation meeting is on Monday, June 24th at 7 p.m. Members in good standing should have received the notice and proxies. Get them in by June 17th. This is where we come together as a congregation, reflect on the past year, kind of get the state of the union of how we are and how we're doing and where we're going. So please join us for that. And finally, golfers. TBE Men's Club is hosting our annual golf outing on July 15th at the Tierras Creek Golf Club. Our event includes $10,000 and $1,000 prizes for a hole-in-one, a tasty buffet dinner, and some fun raffle gifts at dinner. We're offering a chance to win a premium golf trip for two at Pebble Beach. Tickets are $225 each, and a maximum of only 52 tickets will be sold. So whether or not you join us for the event on July 15th, don't miss out on this Pebble Beach opportunity, and remember to tell your friends. Okay, hugs. And you can come to dinner and be with community even if you're not golfing. Okay.
Is there a prize for the biggest loser?
There should be.
Perfect.
There should be. Okay, so Festival of Kiddush, I'm actually trying to see where it is, if we have it in this.
I have, you wanna?
You got it there? Okay. I'm not sure. So we have a special melody for the Festival Kiddush, like we do. So it may be new to you, but you can listen along, and it's really giving thanks for the joyousness of this sacred time. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pari hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol am, v'romamanu mikol ashon, v'kedishanu b'mitzvotav, v'titein lanu Adonai Eloheinu, behava moadim lesimcha, chagim uzmanim lesason, et yom chag ha-shavuot hazeh. Zman matan Toratenu, mikra kodesh, zecher litziat Mitzrayim. Kivanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta, mikol ha'amim. Umoadei kodshecha, besimcha uvsason hinchatanu. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh Yisrael ve'hazmanim. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, shechechianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Oh, these weren't the little ones that I asked for. Oh, well. Okay, well, I'm not going to touch them. Oh, this is vegan. Oh, we got the vegan one? All right. So usually we have two chalot on Shabbat for different reasons, but part of it is the manna from heaven that on Fridays the Israelites gathered a double portion for Shabbat. But we actually have two chalot on Shavuot because that's what was offered in the temple in Jerusalem on Shavuot. It was the wheat harvest, and so it was now like harvest your wheat and make it together and make your offering to God. So There is wine and juice and challah that's outside. I'm not touching this with my hands here, so I'm going to leave one. So anybody who wants a fresh vegan challah, I'm not going to touch that one. I'll leave that up here. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Okay. We have a final song. It's time here.
עץ חיים היא למחזים כי בא בתומך מאושר. עץ חיים היא למחזים כי בא בתומך מאושר. שלום 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 שלom. It is a tree of life to them who hold fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. Is it a tree of life to them who hold fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. Shalom, 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 shalom.